What is workflow and why should you care? Hi everyone, welcome to Alex on Story. This video is all about animation workflow, specifically hybrid workflow. This is the last video in a 4-part series. Each of the other 3 videos looked at one of the workflows: pose to pose, straight ahead, and layered. If you have not seen those videos, I highly recommend you check them out. Then come back to this video to see how we mix different elements of a workflow with another to achieve the best results. In my first video, pose to pose, I talked about the importance of workflow to your success. Workflow provides structure, a way of doing a task. The better your workflow paired with your skill, the higher quality you can produce. At each layer in the process, you have a unique workflow. With each workflow, you should always be pointed towards quality, meaning your workflow should have a desired outcome. If it doesn't, you're pointed in different directions and will miss out on quality. Let's highlight the strengths of each workflow. The true strength of pose to pose is its communicative power. The strength of straight ahead is its blocking speed, which allows you to discover more easily new opportunities. Layered is capable of achieving the highest levels of realism. In order to take advantage and mix elements of the different workflows together, you must first have animated using each of the workflows separately. Once you've animated in the different workflows, you're now in a position to see what works best for you. We are all different. Art can be produced many different ways. Just because I favor a workflow over another doesn't mean you should. Your experience and goals will guide you to a workflow that works for you. When mixing, you often have a dominant workflow followed by aspects of a secondary workflow. I have found that I mix these workflows in this order. When working pose to pose, I do not incorporate aspects of the other 2 workflows. The planning nature of pose to pose overpowers the use of the other 2 workflows. When I do straight ahead animation, I often pair it with pose to pose. This is a natural pairing because you're combining the speed and natural feel of straight ahead with the clarity of pose to pose. Straight ahead and layered don't work together, as the layered approach is disrupted by the blocking of straight ahead. I have found that layered can be combined with pose to pose and straight ahead, however to a lesser contribution than straight ahead and pose to pose. We're going to take a look at different shots together and break down the workflow steps. Let me know in the comments what your favorite workflow is and why. The workflow with the most comments will get a shot animated using that workflow. If you like this information, make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification so you get the most out of this channel. Consider subscribing to my newsletter to get even more animation education. You can find the form on my website and in the description. By signing up, you could win a one-on-one meeting with me. Winners announced monthly. Let's jump into the examples. In this shot, Smurfette is animated using straight ahead. It works great for an action like this against a live action plate. Once I was happy with her blocking, I switched to pose to make adjustments and strengthen my clarity. This shot from Beatbugs is predominantly pose to pose. However, the start of the shot, with the characters backing up, is done straight ahead. The show style leans heavily on pose to pose animation. For this creature animation from the Maze Runner movie, it was done in large part using layered workflow. The size, style, and the live action plates called for a natural feel. Once I got the body to move believably, everything came together. I spent some time focusing on just one control. I added detail like feet, tail, and looking around using straight ahead animation. The timing was dictated by the work I had done on that main center of gravity control. This simple shot is also done using layered and straight ahead. The fun approach for this shot was not only did I animate just one control in space until I was happy with the movement, I then created the entire set to match my animation. Detail like drifting and banking were done using straight ahead. This was a fun animation to do, as it played with depth and choreography. The dominant workflow is straight ahead. The start of the shot, however, has Papa Smurf animated using pose to pose. As the other 2 start climbing, I then do straight ahead animation, as it allows me the freest way to block out the action. This is a really fun test. I animated and did the layout for the shot. Working with the camera and setting up the action is a unique workflow within itself. When filming the action and creating the action, there is a lot of back and forth that happens. First, you need to film some sort of action. The train was done straight ahead. At that point, the camera workflow goes into pose to pose, as I'm filming multiple framings over time. This is a quick animation that took about a day. Everything came together nicely using straight ahead animation. It gave a natural feel to this creature. Once I was happy with the blocking, I went into pose to pose to strengthen the relationship of all the poses and improve clarity. This is a fun animation and a great example of combining two workflows. I began with the starting pose, then worked on the COG, the center of gravity control, and worked in a layered workflow. I did not go past this point until I was happy with the movement and the end framing. I then did a combination of straight ahead and pose to pose to add the performance on top of the existing movement. This action shot was created using straight ahead animation. It was important to block out the action and sell speed and movement across the screen. Once happy, pose to pose strengthened the action and clarity. Our last example has the creature falling into camera. This shot could have been approached many different ways. I kept it simple and did the main action with pose to pose, finding the speed of the action by having a starting and end pose. The detail, like his feet and tail, are mainly straight ahead. If you like this video and series, please give the video a like. If you're new here, make sure you stick around by subscribing. Don't forget to let me know what is your favorite animation workflow. Alright everyone, take care. Bye bye.